it's definitely worth to sacrifice, these few credit score points to get a better offer and to pay less. Hi everyone, in today's video I want to tell you a little bit about how I financed this car. This is my Model 3 mid-range version, which I bought in February. I ordered it in January and I got it in February. So that was just before basically they discontinued the mid-range version, and before a few price drops in February, because Tesla decided to make some big changes in February. So I actually bought my Model 3 before everything changed. So I've been thinking about getting a Tesla for years. Yes, literally, I set a goal in 2015 that I want to get Tesla. They didn't even have a Model 3 back then, and I knew that it would be a long journey, but I decided that, this is my dream car and I would get it someday. It didn't matter to me how long it's gonna take, how hard I will have to work. I just knew that this is my goal. So here I am, a few years later in my Model 3, and I love this car. It's just incredible. Like, it's more than I expected, to be honest, which, doesn't happen that often, especially when, you are so, like, focused. And, I've watched so many YouTube videos on Teslas. I've read so many different articles. Like, I'm subscribed to everything about Tesla, like, literally. I put a lot of time in making this decision and making sure that I really want this car, because it's not a cheap car, so and I'm very frugal with money, by the way. So I didn't want to spend money on something which I wouldn't enjoy, or I would feel like, this is not it, like, I spent all this money but I regret it. So it's been 2 months since I got my Model 3, and I have no regrets whatsoever. So I asked you guys what kind of videos you want to see, and some of you asked me to make a video on how I finance my car. So let's get into it. So I decided to put a big down payment because, to be honest, I was planning to buy a car with cash. Like, I hate being in debt. It really drains me, and I really don't like to have big monthly payments. So my goal was to basically buy a car with cash, and I was saving money. I wasn't in a rush. I was working from home, so I didn't really need a car. So I was just putting off this purchase for months, and then I got another job, and this time I needed to commute, so I needed a car ASAP, basically. And I've been living with this thought in my head, like, I'm buying a car for cash, like, whatever I can afford. And I was thinking about getting a Fiat 500, but then I was just like, if I'm gonna be driving on a freeway, this doesn't seem safe. It's a very small car, and in LA, it's not a good idea. So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a Mini Cooper because I can afford it. It's a cute car, and it seems like it's fun to drive, so perfect. But then I started reading, and I read so many bad things about these cars. Like, they break down pretty often, and it's very hard and expensive to fix them. So I didn't want to spend a lot of money on a car after purchasing it. If I'm spending a lot of money on a car, I don't want to deal with paying to fix the car. all these cars that I actually wanted to have may not be the cars I will want to have, after a few months of driving them. And I may regret, getting Mini Cooper or Fiat 500. So there was Tesla, something I knew that I wanted at some point in my life, but I felt like, I have to have certain job, I have to have certain status, certain amount in my bank account, to get a Tesla. I basically made all these rules, all these goals I need to get before to be able to get a Tesla, that I was just like, I can't get it, no. And then I was just like, okay, I want to get a car that I know I'll have fun driving for the next 5 years. What could it be? Tesla. So I decided to get a Tesla. I decided to put a pretty big down payment and then get financing. So I'm in debt. And it's not that bad, to be honest. It's not that bad. So I, of course, paid the deposit, which was $2,500. When you order a car online, you have to pay $2,500. And then I decided to call up a few banks to see what kind of APR they will give me for financing. And to be honest, I didn't get good offers. And that's probably because even though I have very good credit score, my credit history is not long, because I got my green card not that long ago. I moved here from a different country. I'm from Poland originally. So, they didn't want to really give me a good APR, good loan offer because of it. So Tesla's offer, which was at the time 3.75%, was actually the best I could get. And this also changes. Like, I remember about a year ago, it was 2.99% APR up to 72 months. Then, like a few months ago, it was already up to 3.99%. That was back in December, I remember. I did consider buying a used Tesla, but all the Model S's which I was looking at were pretty expensive and pretty old. So I was just like, I want Model 3, and used Model 3s were pretty expensive. If you would buy a new Model 3 with all the tax credits you get, it would be cheaper than if you would buy a used Model 3 without these credits. So I was just like, yeah, let's just go ahead and buy a brand new Model 3, which I feel like it was just like such a huge purchase. I was just like, oh my god, do I really deserve it? Like, I was even thinking about just giving this car to my husband, and I'll be driving his Toyota Camry hybrid, because I was just so grateful to be able to drive this car even on the weekends. Like, I'm a humble person, so like I didn't feel like I need to drive this car every day to enjoy it. But he didn't want it, so I was just like, okay, sure, I'm gonna be driving my beautiful Tesla Model 3, not a problem. So I got the financing from Tesla. It's a US bank. They give me 3.75% for 72 months. So I'm paying, oh, by the way, I didn't mention, so I paid $2,500 at the beginning as a deposit. Then I paid $14,400. So basically it was around $17,000 for down payment. And a lot of the money was tax. Yeah, it was a lot of money, like around $5,000 I paid in taxes for this car. So yeah, but then because I put this down payment, I was able to lower my monthly payments, and it's around $555 a month. So it's not that bad. Of course, it would be nice if it would be just $200, but still, I just want to keep it below $1,000 because with of course insurance and everything, so it's not bad. It's not bad. I'm pretty happy with this purchase. I'm pretty happy that I decided to get credit to pay for this car instead of buying Mini Cooper or Fiat 500, which I probably would have fun driving for like a few months, and then I would be like, okay, this car is too small for me. I don't feel safe, and I just want, something bigger. I'm pretty sure I would feel this way. I'm pretty sure. So it's been 2 months and I'm loving this car. It's just so fun to drive. It's beautiful inside and out. And it's funny because I remember I was just like, I love the way Model S looks, like from the back and front. It's beautiful. It's super sexy. And I wasn't sure about Model 3. Like, I didn't really like how it looked, especially from the back. Front, it's alright, but I was just not sure. And to be honest, when I got this car, I started washing it by hand, and I was just like, I love the shape of this car. It's so beautiful. It really is. I mean, some people may compare this car to Model S and they will be like, not amazing. But if you look at this car, I mean, there is no other car that look like this. It's just beautiful. You can tell. Like, you see this car on the street, it's Model 3. So it's a beautiful car. I paid a lot of money for it, but I don't have any regrets. Even though, of course, it's not an investment. Don't buy any car thinking that it's gonna be investment, because you are risking a lot. I know that I'm gonna lose a lot of money on this car, but I'm paying to enjoy this car every day. Every time I just sit here, in this car and drive to work, I'm like, wow, it's incredible. Like, I'm so blessed to be driving this car every day. That's how I feel. And I don't think I had this feeling with any other car, No. Like, I really didn't care to have, any other car. Like, I don't know. I didn't care for Mercedes or BMW. I don't know. Like, it didn't bring me that much joy as this car. Like, it's incredible. I love it. So, in fees for the loan, I will be paying around $4,000 if I will pay it in 6 years, 72 months. If I will pay it before that, of course, these fees will be lower. So that's my plan. I'm planning to pay off this car, sooner, better than later, right? So yeah, but I think the percentage I got was pretty good at the time, because you have to keep in mind that it depends on the market. Sometimes, banks will give you a better percentage if they want, people to get more loans, because not enough people are getting loans, so they will have better percentage. It all depends on the market. But at this time, when I was purchasing this car, all the other banks, they were offering me like 5%, 6%. Like, what? It's crazy, So I'm pretty happy that I got this deal, And yeah, definitely, if you are planning to buy Tesla, call different banks. Make sure, at least one other bank. It's definitely worth to sacrifice, these few credit score points to get a better offer and to pay less in the interest. So I will be paying around $4,000. My goal is to pay around $2,000. So I will try to pay off this debt in half of this time. We'll see how it will go. I just bought full self-driving, so that's what I will be paying for right now. But we'll see. So far, I'm happy with the decision I made. I'm happy with the financing. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more Tesla videos. And I'll see you soon in the next video. Bye-bye.